Need fertilizer in a pinch? Let me show you. It's rather simple. There's only 4 ingredients, so you should have most all these things around. So the things that you'll need are a bucket with some water, preferably rainwater. If you can't do that, and you got like chlorine or chloramine in your water because you have city water, then leave it out for 24 48 hours in the sun so it'll off gas. That should help. The next thing we'll be needing is a bag of some kind to hold the material. So I'm using a paint strainer bag. You can do all kinds of different things. You can use pillowcases, socks in a pinch, pantyhose, any number of things. You know, as long as it can hold the material and it's breathable, it'll work. Now, the main thing we'll be using for fertilizer today is fall leaves. Now, we're not mulching with them, we're not composting with them. We're going to be digging down below and seeing what we can get. Now, you can go into a forest, grab some on the bottom of the floor bed. You could save leaves, like what I did. I ended up taking my neighborhood's leaves, so I was the leaf guy for the fall last year. I will say this, preferably you would want to use more broken down fall leaves, but if you don't have that, use whatever you can that's the most broken down as possible. You could always throw that in your compost later. Kind of hard to record this, but all you'll need is a handful or so for a 5-gallon bucket. Now, if it's not fully broken down, you can maybe use another handful to make sure, but otherwise that's all you'll need. So, using the paint strainer, sock, pillowcase, whatever you got, we now dip it in and out. Treat it like it's a tea bag. Just knocking all that goodies loose. That's what you want it to do. And then after, I don't know, a short period of time of doing it, you can then start squeezing it to try to get as much as you can really get out of it. Because if you're in my case where it's not fully broken down, you want to get as much as possible out of it. So even if it is broken down, just squeeze it out. You'll get all the goodies between the solids that are easily passable through this, any microbiology that might be in it, and also the easily dissolvable material will obviously go in as well. Now we start squeezing it. I'm gonna try to see if I can turn this around some. Let's see if I can tie this and then I'll put the camera. Good enough. This with one hand, it'll be tricky, but essentially you just want to knock as much stuff loose as possible. You shouldn't have to dilute this. It should be good as is. I feel a rock or something in here. Oh well. Anyways, you shouldn't need to dilute this. It should be good as is, so you shouldn't need to do anything else to it. So you could also bubble this if you have an aerator. I do not right now, but it is something you can do. All you have to do is get an aquarium pump and some tubing, and that's really it. Now that it's done, you can now water your plants with it and at the same time feed them. It should help your plants that are stressed. It should help plants, like if you're starting some seeds, that should do well for the seeds and the young seedlings that might be coming up. If you got bare root plants that you're putting in the ground, that'll help them transition into their new home. All kinds of goodies. So now I'm gonna go ahead and water my plants and get a move on.